So just a quick video on one of the most common questions I get asked. What's the difference between mental health and mental illness? So I suppose mental health can be equated to how you feel on a daily basis, your psychological, your emotional, your physical well-being. And like, you can have days where you feel down. They may be triggered by events. You can have days where you feel depressed. You can have days where you feel anxious, or you can have anxiety attacks where you have, difficulty breathing. And then you can have stressful days when your whole digestive system doesn't work properly. You can't sleep properly, and that's what you'd factor in as being mental health and well-being. And we have approaches for these things. We have mindfulness, we have yoga, reading. People like to walk in the open, do some sports, whatever it is, but you can address these things in kind of a systematic manner. However, mental illness is a different thing. A mental illness is diagnosed. For instance, like bipolar, you can have days of very, very highs, followed by days of very, very lows, or you can have days of very, very highs and then you just return back to a base. And like, what you're looking for is times when you have this manic modes or manic lows or manic highs that last for more than 7 days. So there's loads of different diagnostic tools for mental illnesses, and they affect the way you think and the way you act, where everybody is prone to mental health issues. And they can be caused by anything. They can be caused by work, they could be caused by bullying, they could be just caused by stress. They can be literally anything can affect your wellness and your mental health. Mental illness is a different thing. And when we do some training around mental health, it's mental health that you do the training in. We talk about mental illnesses. And we also talk about how to help someone that approaches you, or how to approach somebody else that is having a mental illness episode. And it's a fine line between what you're able to achieve and what you're competent and what you're experienced enough to be able to deal with, and what may overwhelm you and affect your mental health. So it's a very fine line, and a day's training or a couple of days training gives you the tools to be able to work through if it's a thing for you to be able to deal with, or if it's somewhere where you have to signpost people onto and get them help, especially in the workplace. So that's the difference between mental health and mental illness. Mental health affects everybody, and it affects everybody at different stages in their life, and on and off. It depends on what your business and your social background and the way you deal with life. But mental illness is a different thing, and it is an illness. It's like any other illness. It's like a physical illness. It doesn't make any difference. We just have built up this stigma around mental illness that's very, very hard to shake off. So if we treat it as just another illness, well, then the same treatment plan comes into play. You give people time off to recover, you send them to people that will help them get better, and you give them plans and sometimes medication to help them get better. Okay, thanks guys.